Most men approach women like a job interview, desperate to prove they're qualified, safe, and good enough. They explain. They justify. They open up too fast. They show their feelings on a silver platter, hoping she'll finally get it and choose them. And then they watch her drift toward the guy who doesn't explain himself, the guy who doesn't react, the guy she can't quite control. He's not chasing. He's not blowing up her phone. He's not performing for her approval. He's just there, calm, collected, unmoved, and for some reason, she can't stop thinking about him. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why women obsess over cold, calm men they can't control, and more importantly, how to become that man without turning into a toxic, emotionally dead robot. No games, no fake alpha act, just a deeper level of self-respect and emotional discipline than most men will ever build. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to give you a step-by-step framework you can start using today to completely change the way women respond to you. Let's get into it. Why trying hard makes you easy to control. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. The harder you try to win her over, the easier you are to move. Think about how most guys operate when they really like a woman. She takes a little longer to reply. He gets anxious and sends another message. She seems distant. He asks if everything is okay 3 times in a row. She tests him with a rude comment or a small disrespect. He laughs it off, scared to push back. She threatens to leave. He instantly starts negotiating and apologizing. On paper, he thinks he's being caring, attentive, emotionally honest. To her, he's broadcasting something else. My emotional state depends on you. And if you pull or push, I will dance. That's what control looks like. Not a leash, not a contract. Control is when your mood, behavior, and decisions are shaped by her reactions. Now look at the cold, calm man. He listens. He observes. He notices changes, but he doesn't jump. She gets distant. He gives space. She fires a test. He addresses it once, clearly, without drama. She threatens to leave. He calmly accepts it and doesn't beg. She throws attitude. He doesn't mirror it. He doesn't spiral. He doesn't perform. He is not cruel. He is not emotionally abusive. He simply refuses to hand over the steering wheel of his life to her emotional weather, and that is exactly why women obsess over him. Because he is the rare thing, a man she cannot move at will. What cold and calm actually means and doesn't mean. We need to be very clear about definitions. Most guys hear cold, calm, can't be controlled, and they instantly think, okay, so I should ignore her, be an asshole, show no feelings, and act like I don't care. That's not masculine. That's just immature. Let's define this properly. What cold is not. It's not being disrespectful. It's not punishing her emotionally. It's not giving the silent treatment to manipulate her. It's not pretending you don't care when you actually do. Real cold in this context means you are not emotionally needy. You don't chase her validation. You don't panic when she pulls away. You don't make her the center of your world. Your emotions are real. You feel them. You just don't broadcast every spike and crash. Or what calm is not. It's not being dead inside. It's not being checked out of life. It's not being passive or numb. Real calm means your nervous system is under your command. You can feel anger, jealousy, disappointment, but you respond intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. What she can't control is not. It's not making her feel unsafe. It's not ignoring her boundaries. It's not dominating or owning her. It means she cannot easily push you into emotional chaos. She can't make you beg, chase, or abandon your values just because she's upset. That combination, emotionally solid, not easily moved yet not cruel, creates a very specific reaction in women: respect, curiosity, obsession. Not because you're playing some cartoon alpha role, but because you are operating at a level of self-command that most men never reach. Why women test you, and why most men fail. If you don't understand female testing, you will always feel confused and frustrated. Women test men. That's not an opinion. It's observable. But here's what most guys get wrong. They think tests are always conscious. A lot of them aren't. Sometimes she knows she's pushing you. Sometimes her emotions are simply pulling her into behaviors that expose who you gently are. Here's what her tests are actually looking for. Can you stay calm under pressure, or do you explode, panic, or collapse? Do you have real boundaries, or will you tolerate anything just to keep her? Are you led by your mission, or by her moods? Does your life move forward regardless, or does everything pause when she's upset? Can you tell her no? Or are you terrified of displeasing her? Most men fail for one simple reason. They want her approval more than they want their own self-respect. So when she tests, they fold. She gets disrespectful. He lets it slide. She pushes a sexual boundary. He follows her, even if it goes against his values. She flirts with drama. He jumps into emotional arguments because he doesn't want her to leave. The cold, calm man passes tests differently. He doesn't yell. He doesn't chase. He doesn't over-explain. He just doesn't move. He stays composed. He states his line once. If she keeps crossing it, he quietly detaches. That non-reactive firmness is what drives women crazy, because they cannot steer him. He won't shout. He won't beg. He will simply leave if pushed too far, and that possibility that she could actually lose him keeps their attraction alive. The psychology. Why women obsess over what they can't steer. We have to talk psychology for a minute. Attraction is not logical. Women do not sit there with a spreadsheet and say, okay, this man sends long paragraphs, over-explains his feelings, lets me step all over his boundaries. Therefore, my attraction should increase. That's not how it works. Emotionally, a woman is pulled toward men she respects, men she cannot easily predict, men whose lives are already full and in motion when she can. Predict how you'll react. Move your emotions easily. Guilt you, manipulate you, or pull you into endless arguments. You feel safe to her, but not attractive. You are emotionally comfortable, but not compelling. The cold, calm man creates a different emotional equation. She feels safe from abuse, because he's not unhinged. But she doesn't feel safe from loss, because she knows he could walk away if she pushes too far. That tension, the safety of his stability combined with the risk of losing him, keeps her invested. She can't fully lock him down emotionally. She can't fully read him. She knows he cares, but she's not sure how far he'll tolerate her worst behavior. That is the exact zone where obsession lives. Not in chaos, not in abuse, in the controlled uncertainty of, I know he likes me, but I'm not sure how much I can get away with. When she realizes the answer is not much, and that he has the courage to leave, her respect and attraction spike. How to become cold and calm without becoming toxic. Now we move from theory to practice. This is where most content online fails you. It tells you, be non-reactive, be unemotional, be alpha, but doesn't give you a trainable system. We're going to build one. Think of it as the cold and calm framework, with 5 pillars. Emotional slowdown, boundary clarity, mission first living, selective vulnerability, detachment from outcome. Let's walk through each. Pillar 1, emotional slowdown. Your first job is simple to say, hard to execute. Never respond at the peak of your emotion. She says something disrespectful. She pulls away. She takes hours to reply after being very active. She mentions her ex. She threatens to leave. Your old pattern might be instant reply, paragraphs of emotion, calling, double texting, checking her socials, demanding clarity in the moment. That's the behavior of a man who can be controlled. The new pattern. Notice the emotional spike. Do nothing externally. Give yourself time, 20 minutes, an hour, or even a full day if needed. Let your nervous system settle. Then decide, what would I do here if I were calm, grounded, and self-respecting? Only then do you respond. You are training your body and mind to obey you, not the trigger. Women notice this instantly. She will feel that she cannot drag you into an emotional storm just by pushing your buttons. You have become less reactive, which means less controllable. Pillar 2. Boundary clarity. You cannot be cold and calm if you have no internal lines. Most men don't actually know their boundaries until after they've been crossed 5 times. You need to define your standards in advance. What is disrespect to you? What type of tone, sarcasm, or public behavior is unacceptable? What kind of lifestyle clash is a deal breaker? What are your non-negotiables around cheating, loyalty, and honesty? Write them down if you have to. Then, when something happens, if it crosses a predefined boundary, you address it. Once. Calmly. If it happens again, you don't argue harder, you don't repeat yourself, you disengage. Example, she makes a humiliating joke about you in front of friends. The weak man laughs it off, acts like it's no big deal, pretends he's okay, then sulks later. The over-emotional man starts a scene, yells, argues for 30 minutes trying to make her understand. The cold, calm man waits until you're alone. Then, don't joke about me like that in front of people again. I don't tolerate that. If she deflects, you don't debate. If she laughs, you don't justify. If it happens again, you create distance. Less time, less access, less intimacy. No screaming, no begging, just quiet enforcement. That is how you become a man. A woman cannot control because she knows there is a line, and if she crosses it repeatedly, she loses you. Pillar 3. Mission first. Living a man without a mission is always available for manipulation. If you don't have a direction, a purpose, a structure to your time, real goals in health, money, and skill, then your default mission becomes her texts, her calls, her mood, her approval. Women feel this, and it repels them over time. Cold, calm men live differently. They woke up with a plan before she ever texted. They have non-negotiable blocks of time for work, training, projects. They don't drop everything because she's bored or in her feelings. That doesn't mean you ignore her. It means you don't reorganize your entire life to fit her emotional schedule. You are leading your life. She can join or not. When a woman senses that your mission is bigger than your relationship, your identity is not built on her, you would still move forward without her. She can no longer control you. She can influence your life, but not define it. That's attractive. That's rare. That's what she obsesses over. Pillar 4. Selective vulnerability. Being cold and calm doesn't mean you never open up. If you stay completely closed forever, you will feel more like a wall than a man. The key is pacing and selection. Weak vulnerability. Dumping your trauma on date 2, sharing every insecurity in real time, using your pain to guilt her into staying strong. Selective vulnerability. You reveal things gradually as trust builds. You admit weaknesses without begging for rescue. You let her see your depth, but not all at once. Example, instead of, I have huge abandonment issues and I freak out when people get distant. I'm terrified you'll leave. You say, yeah, I've had people walk away unexpectedly before. It used to mess me up. Took me time to get solid in myself, so that doesn't control me anymore. Same truth, different frame. She feels your humanity, but she doesn't feel like she owns your emotional stability. She still doesn't fully know you. There is more to uncover, and that more is what keeps her engaged. You're not her patient. You're a grounded man with a history, not a broken boy wanting a therapist. Pillar 5. Detachment from outcome. Here's the hardest part for most men. You have to be genuinely willing to lose her, not as a tactic, not as a manipulation trick, as a real internal position. As long as you secretly believe, if she leaves, I'm nothing. I can't handle losing her. I'll never find anyone else. You will always be controllable, because she is the one thing you cannot imagine losing. Detachment from outcome doesn't mean you don't care. It means, I care deeply, but I will never betray myself to keep you. If she tries to force you into a life you don't want, repeatedly disrespects you, rips at your mission or integrity, you will walk, not scream, not threaten. Just leave. That possibility changes everything in her mind. You're no longer the man she can keep just by dangling affection. You're the man she could actually lose if she forgets who she's with. And that's when she stops playing games and shows you who she really is. Real-life scenarios. How cold and calm actually looks. Let's make this practical. Here are a few everyday situations and how different men respond. Scenario 1. She pulls away. She used to text a lot. Now she's slow, dry, distant. Weak reaction. Double texting, asking, "Are you mad at me?" Trying harder to entertain her, apologizing without knowing what you did wrong. Cold and calm reaction. Mirror the energy. You text less too. Focus on your life, not on chasing her mood. After some time, if you care enough, send one direct message. Boom, you've seemed distant lately. If something's changed, just be straight with me. No begging, no panic. If she cares, she'll respond honestly. If she doesn't, you've just learned who she really is, and you adjust accordingly. Scenario 2. She disrespects you in public. She mocks you in front of friends, or crosses a line you've already mentioned. Weak reaction. Fake laughing, acting like it's fine, secretly resenting her, hoping she magically changes over emotional reaction, starting a loud argument. Yelling or insulting her back. Making everyone uncomfortable, cold and calm. Reaction. You keep your cool in public. Later in private. Don't talk about me like that around other people. I'm not okay with it. If it happens again, I'll just be spending less time in those settings. You don't threaten. You don't dramatize. You just lay out the reality. If she respects you, she corrects course. If she repeats it, you don't repeat your warning. You repeat your standard by changing your behavior. Scenario 3. She tries to rush the relationship. You've been seeing each other for a short time. She starts pushing for labels, moving in, major commitments. Weak reaction. Saying yes just to keep her happy, agreeing while feeling unsure inside, giving her what she wants to avoid conflict. Cold and calm reaction. I like where this is going, but I don't rush major decisions. I move at a pace I can stand behind. If that doesn't work for you, I understand. No arguments, no back and forth. You are not on her timeline. You are on yours. Some women will try to push harder. The more attached you are to keeping her, the faster you fold. But if you're truly willing to let incompatible people walk away, you stay in your frame. Ironically, a lot of women end up respecting this and staying. The inner work. Fixing the root, not just the behavior. Here's the truth most guys don't want to hear. You can't convincingly act cold and calm if deep down you are terrified of being alone. Eventually, your act cracks. You'll hold frame for a week, maybe 2. Then she pulls back or threatens to leave, and suddenly you're back to over-texting, over-explaining, over-apologizing. What's the real problem? It's not your technique, it's your identity. You secretly believe, I'm only valuable if I'm chosen. If she leaves, it means I'm not enough. So instead of building yourself, you chase proof. Cold, calm men live from a different belief. I'm valuable because of who I am and what I build. A relationship can add to my life, but it doesn't define it. You don't get to that belief by repeating a mantra. You get there by keeping promises to yourself, getting your body in shape, improving your skills, increasing your income and competence, facing difficult tasks and finishing them. Every time you do something hard that you said you would do, you send a signal to your own brain. I am a man who can rely on himself. That's where true calm comes from. When you respect yourself, you don't need her to do it for you. When you know you can rebuild, you stop clinging to anyone. And that's when I'm willing to lose her stops being a line and becomes the truth. Daily habits to build a cold, calm presence. Let's finish with practical habits you can implement today to start becoming this man. Habit 1. The response delay. For the next 30 days, anytime you feel a surge of emotion, anger, jealousy, anxiety, before texting or calling someone, wait 10 minutes, breathe slowly, ask, What would the strongest version of me do here? Then act. You're rewiring your default from reaction to response. Habit 2. One daily non-negotiable. Choose one activity that moves your life forward. Gym, learning a skill, building a business, improving your career. Do it every day, regardless of her mood, your notifications. You are training your brain to understand. My life does not stop for anyone. Habit 3. Weekly boundary. Audit once a week. Ask yourself, where did I feel disrespected? Did I speak up? If not, why? Fear of losing her? Fear of conflict? Then decide how you will handle it next time. You are teaching yourself that your comfort, dignity, and standards matter. Habit 4. Solitude without distractions. Spend 20-30 minutes a few times per week alone. No phone, no music, no scrolling. Just you and your thoughts. Why? Because a man who can't sit with himself is always looking for someone else to distract him. Solitude builds internal strength. Silence removes the noise. That's where calm is forged. Closing. Why this matters. This isn't about winning against women. It's not about turning into a stone-hearted statue who never feels anything. It's about this. You stop living at the mercy of other people's moods. You stop handing over your self-respect for scraps of attention. You become the man whose presence is steady, whose emotions are disciplined, and whose life moves with or without a relationship. Women obsess over men like that not because those men are perfect, but because those men cannot be owned. They can be loved, they can be chosen, they can be lost, but they cannot be controlled. If you're done being the over-explainer, if you're done letting every test, every mood swing, every threat of leaving control you, then your work starts now. Slow your reactions, sharpen your boundaries, build your mission, open up selectively, detach from outcome. You don't need to announce it, you don't need to prove it, live it. She'll feel the difference long before you say a word, and that's when you stop chasing her attention and become the man she can't stop thinking about.